Bergamo rushes in first, and Goku, still in his base form, meets him in close combat. Gohan is surprised by his father's choice, noting that fighting in his base form is risky since he cannot sense Bergamo's exact power and might get caught off guard by Bergamo if he powers up suddenly.
Virus corrects Gohan,
Pointing out that Goku doesn't need to send his opponent's energy directly to gauge their strength. Instead, he can adapt his power based on the speed and force his opponent displays, a skill acquired through the years of combat experience. If Bergamo suddenly ramps up in strength, Goku can quickly respond by transforming as needed to match or surpass his foe. As the clash continues, Goku demonstrates superior martial arts skill, but Bergamo's raw power put the Saiyan at a slight disadvantage. Bergamo taunts Goku, telling him to stop playing around and use the golden form his son displayed earlier. Goku shoots back that Bergamo should follow his own advice.
Bergamo is amused,
Acknowledging that the Saiyan can sense he's holding back as well. Without warning, Bergamo powers up and charges, trying to catch Goku off guard. The Saiyan feels a surge of pressure from his opponent, prompting him to transform into Super Saiyan 2, just in time to block Bergamo's strike. He counters with a powerful blow, sending Bergamo skidding back.
impressed, Bergamo compliments Goku, admitting that he shouldn't have expected such a basic trick to work.
He then activates a defensive barrier, similar to the one Gohan used in the previous match, and declares that the real battle is about to begin. The two clash again, and while Goku holds the power advantage, Bergamo is taking very little damage thanks to his barrier, which also allows Bergamo to take riskier moves against the Saiyan. Goku also noticed something strange. Despite landing several clean hits, Bergamo's energy and strength only seem to be increasing rather than wearing down. Gohan, watching from the sidelines, notes that his father's Super Saiyan power is stronger than his own, a reminder of his father's exceptional abilities. Back to the fight, Goku soon realizes Bergamo's strategy. The barrier isn't just for defense. As the fight drags on, Bergamo's power keeps climbing, surpassing the strength of the Super Saiyan. Goku then suspects that, similarly to his brother Basil, Bergamo has a technique that allows him to power up by receiving the attacks from his opponent. Goku directly asks if his theory is correct, but Bergamo does not confirm it nor deny it. Quite sure about being right, Goku quickly considers his win conditions. He can either outlast Bergamo until his power hit the limit, or strike him with a single overwhelming attack to shatter the barrier and end the fight immediately. True to his nature, Goku chooses the riskier option, eager to push Bergamo to his limits. Powering up to Super Saiyan 3, Goku unleashes a series of heavy strikes, momentarily overpowering his opponent. Bergamo, however, rapidly catches up, and his strength is growing with each hit he takes. Before long, the two fighters are on equal footing again, and Goku notices that Bergamo's strength has stopped increasing. Recognizing this, Goku challenges Bergamo to show his true power, and he transforms into Super Saiyan Blue. Bergamo responds accordingly, unleashing his divine state. Their battle resumes, this time with Goku adapted to Bergamo's aggressive fighting style. After closely observing his opponent's barrier throughout the fight,
Goku recognizes the weakness.
Bergamo precisely regulates the barrier's strength to only reinforce the exact spot where he is about to be hit. That way he conserves energy. However, this precision comes with a weakness, which is that unexpected attacks can break through the barrier more easily. With this in mind, Goku shifts his approach, incorporating more feints, after images, and controlled energy blast into his attacks. This strategy quickly pays off as Goku starts breaking through Bergamo's defenses, landing more significant blows and finally dealing real damage. Since the weakness of his barrier were discovered, Bergamo is taking much more damage. This means that while his powers continue to grow, because of his technique, The damage he's receiving is gradually weakening him, although to a lesser extent. Bergamo highly compliments Goku for his level of skill. Other opponents have found his barrier weakness before, but none of them were able to capitalize on it. Bergamo decides to go all out. He rapidly grows in size, his form expanding until it nearly covers the entire ring, severely restricting Goku's movement. The Saiyan is experienced enough to realize the drawbacks of being a giant, such as losing agility and being a much easier target to attack. To make up for that, Bergamo erects a fully powered barrier around his giant body, betting everything on a final assault. Despite the situation, Goku remains his intent on testing Bergamo's limits, unleashing a barrage of Ki Blast. Bergamo merrily laughs, absorbing the attacks without much trouble and powering up further with each attack. When Goku finally stops, Bergamo has reached his peak of power, and immediately counters, stomping down with his massive feet, trying to crush his opponent. However, Goku's agility allows him to evade the powerful strikes. As Goku attempts to take to the air, Bergamo swipes at him with his colossal hands, not letting him fly away. Realizing his fully powered barrier won't hold for long, Bergamo decides to end the fight with a final decisive attack. He leaps into the air, hovering near the edge of the ring's zone, and begins gathering energy. Goku responds, powering up a Super Kamehameha and pushing even further with a limited Kaioken. Sensing the sudden surge in Goku's power, Bergamo recognizes the need to go all in. He drops his barrier to maximize his energy output, not expecting the Saiyan to have so much power left. The situation is very similar how the last battle occurred. Bergamo, trying to maintain his advantage, fires his energy blast first, a massive dark blue wave that engulfs the entire ring, leaving Goku no room to dodge. Goku holds his ground as the wave crashes into the ring, shattering a huge section of the arena. For just a moment, Bergamo lowers his guard, believing the blast secured his victory, but then he senses Goku right behind his giant head. Before he can react, Goku unleashes his fully charged Kamehameha, blasting Bergamo's vulnerable head and knocking him out instantly, despite his giant form's enhanced durability. Goku is declared the victor. As the dust settles, Universe 9's Angel heals Bergamo. Before leaving, the Wolf Warrior asks Goku how he managed to appear behind him so quickly. Goku casually reveals that he used a technique called instant transmission. Bergamo is briefly taken aback by Goku's honest response, warning him that he shouldn't be so quick to reveal his abilities to potential opponents. Goku simply chuckles, dismissing the warning. He explains that he doesn't like relying on tricks to win like he did in this occasion, so he's fine with others knowing his techniques. Bergamo smirks. Despite the sting of defeat, he admits that he doesn't mind losing to a genuine warrior like Goku. Before turning away, he promises that he and his brother will seek the rematch in the Tournament of Power. Goku nods, replying with confidence that he will be looking forward to it. As Bergamo returns to his brothers and the gods of Universe 9, the Grand Priest steps forward, officially declaring Universe 7 the victor of the exhibition matches. Both Omni Kings are visibly pleased, all entertained by the fierce battles they just witnessed. Their excitement builds as they express a desire to see very soon even more clashes between mortals. Meanwhile, Belmont, the god of destruction from Universe 11, approaches his disciple, Toppo. He asks him what does he think of Goku's power. Toppo acknowledges the Saiyan's impressive strength and technique, but confidently declares that he believes he can take him on. Sensing an opportunity, Belmont steps forward and respectfully requests a moment with the Omni Kings, which the Grand Priest allows. Bowing to the king, the clown-like god suggests another thrilling match, this time between his disciple Toppo and one of the fighters from Universe 7. But Xenos light up at the idea, eagerly approving the proposal. Universe 7 is then asked to choose a representative, and naturally, Goku is selected. Given his tiredness from the earlier match, Whis steps in to fully heal the Saiyan, ensuring a fair fight. As the two warriors step into the ring, they exchange introductions. Toppo, curious about his opponent, asks if Goku is also a disciple of a god of destruction. Goku shakes his head, smiling, and replies that he's just a fighter who lives for exciting battles. He then turns the question back to Toppo, wondering if the Hakaishin apprentice shares the same thrill for combat. In response, Toppo strikes a series of extravagant and flamboyant poses. He proudly introduced himself as Toppo, the hero of justice, the leader of the Pride Troopers, and the protector of the righteousness. His over-the-top and heroic display is something that Gohan and the Omni Kings genuinely enjoy. After this dramatic introduction, Toppo firmly declares that he doesn't fight for the entertainment, but out of duty as a hero of his universe. He explains that becoming a Hakaishin is a responsibility he intends to accept to make his universe a better place. Goku nods, acknowledging the noble intent, but also raises a fair question. If he's gonna become a god of destruction, wouldn't his job be to destroy planets instead of protecting them? Toppo's response is immediate. As a god of destruction, he will ensure that the righteous have nothing to fear. Only those who threaten the peace of the universe will face destruction. Toppo concludes by saying they shouldn't keep the gods waiting any longer and declares himself ready to fight. Goku smirks and declares himself ready as well. With both fighters prepared, the Grand Priest signals the start of the match. Goku transformed into Super Saiyan, matching the power of base Toppo, and the two immediately clash in close combat. The Saiyan tests Toppo's martial arts, finding him more than capable of holding his own. Goku initially assumes that Toppo's bulky frame might make him slower, so he tries to overwhelm him with speed. However, Toppo quickly demonstrates that his size doesn't hinder his agility. The Pride Trooper responds by using a series of grappling moves, eventually catching Goku in a crushing body lock with his massive hands, attempting to break his bones. Thanks to his combat skill, Goku narrowly breaks free and counters, pushing Toppo back. Goku compliments Toppo's impressive technique, but warns him that he's about to step things up. He shifts into Super Saiyan 3 and unleashes a continuous barrage of energy blast. Toppo, unable to dodge in time, powers up with his demigod ki, creating a barrier to withstand the assault. As soon as the barrier drops, Goku instantly teleports behind Toppo, landing a powerful kick to his face that sends the Pride Trooper staggering back. The Saiyan keeps up the offensive, but Toppo endures the blows, then quickly charges his fist with ki and counters with a powerful enhancing punch to Goku's face. Seeing that Toppo is holding his ground, Goku transforms into Super Saiyan God. His wounds from the earlier strike quickly healing as his power rises. The battle continues and Goku's Super Saiyan God form gradually proves overwhelming for Toppo. Realizing this, Toppo decides to unleash his divine ki, boosting his power significantly. Goku steps back and encourages Toppo to show him the full extent of his power. The Pride Trooper demands the same for Goku, and he responds back by transforming into Super Saiyan Blue. With both fighters now using divine ki, the second round begins, and their battle proves to be fierce. Despite Toppo having a slight power edge, Goku's technique and adaptability keeps things more even giving him a chance to win if he managed to deal a decisive move. However, Toppo reveals one of his signature moves, the Justice Flash. His attack releases a relentless barrage of a small, rapid-fire energy blast. While each individual shot is not especially powerful, The sheer volume is overwhelming. Goku managed to dodge and reflect the blast, but find himself gradually cornered. Before Goku can teleport away, Toppo sees him in another crushing hold. This time, Goku uses the limited Kaioken, generating a powerful shockwave to break free, pushing Toppo back. Sensing his opening, Goku rushes in, deflecting another round of Justice Flash as he closes the distance. He follows up with a brutal combo, breaking through Toppo's guard. When Toppo attempts to shield himself with a barrier, Goku responds with a fully charged Kamehameha, shattering the defense and sending the Pride Trooper reeling. Though battered, Toppo stands back up, acknowledging Goku's power, realizing he's being pushed to use his greatest power. As he adopts his Justice pose, his body begins to radiate a dark purplish aura, even his skin darkness as his power increases. The gods watching immediately recognize this as Ultra Ego, a divine state reserved for those on the path to becoming a true god of destruction. Goku also realized he using the same technique the Hakaishin were using previously during their match. Toppo admits he hasn't fully mastered the technique, but thanks Goku for pushing him to the point where he can use it in a serious fight for the first time. Goku, seeing his opponent's determination, responds in kind, pushing himself to his absolute limit by combining Super Saiyan Blue with the maximum Kaioken. Although he has not yet perfected this state and can only maintain it for a short time, he chooses to push through out of respect for Toppo's resolve. Both fighters are now at their peak, but neither can maintain these extreme forms for long, turning the match into a race to deliver a final decisive blow. As they charge at each other once more, their battle becomes a grueling contest of endurance. Goku fights through the immense strength of Kaioken, while Toppo struggles to keep his focus and fortitude in the Ultra Ego state. Despite the Saiyan's slight edge in raw power, Toppo's use of destruction energy and his ability to temporarily boost his defense through his Justice pose gradually turned the tide in his favor, these two factors becoming the decisive elements of the match. With their energy nearly depleted, Goku charged a final Kamehameha, his last attempt to break through Toppo's defense. In response, Toppo channels the remainder of his energy, surrounding himself in a dense sphere of destruction energy before launching himself at Goku at full speed. The two forces collide, creating a massive shockwave that ripples across the arena. Though Goku pours everything into his final attack, Toppo's destructive aura allows him to break through the beam, crashing into the Saiyan with what remains of his strength. Goku, battered and out of energy, remains conscious but recognizes that he can no longer continue. Accepting his defeat, he gives up, making Toppo the clear victor of their intense battle. This match has clearly impressed the Omni Kings, who are more excited than ever. Even the other spectators, including the Hakaishin, were quite entertained, though Virus appears visibly frustrated by the outcome. Despite his fatigue, Toppo approaches the worn-out Goku and offers him a hand to stand up, a gesture of mutual respect. He praises the Saiyan for his incredible strength and skill, acknowledging that Goku nearly won the battle without even tapping into a divine technique like Ultra Ego or Destruction Power. This serves as a hint toward Goku's potential path for growth. The Saiyan, despite the loss, seems genuinely happy about the fight and thanks Toppo in return. It is clear that a strong bond of mutual respect has formed between the two, which, while not necessarily a bad thing, could pose a complication when the stakes are even higher in the upcoming Tournament of Power. As they part, Goku tells Toppo that his strength was exactly what he expected from the strongest mortal of Universe 11. However, Toppo corrects him, revealing that he's not the strongest. This catches Goku off guard and his curiosity is piqued. Toppo, slightly amused by the Saiyan's reaction, tells him about his comrade, Jiren the Grey, a fellow Pride Trooper whose power surpasses even that of their own god of destruction, Velmoth. Hearing this, Goku's excitement gives way to a mix of concern and anticipation. Even the other gods listening are visibly unsettled. If Universe 11 truly has such a powerful fighter, the tournament will be far more challenging than they initially imagined. Yet, this is precisely the kind of test that Goku craves, a chance to push his limits even further. He eagerly looks forward to meeting this mysterious Jiren. With that, Toppo bids Goku farewell, promising to see him again when the tournament begins. As both warriors leave the arena, the Grand Press officially declares the exhibition matches over. The Omni Kings, still thrilled by the battles, express their desire to proceed with the Tournament of Power as fast as possible. In response, the Grand Press grants their wish, announcing that the tournament will take place in just 2 days. The gods of destruction, except for Velmoth, are visibly alarmed by this sudden deadline. 2 days is hardly enough time to assemble and prepare their teams, especially given the caliber of fighters like Goku, Toppo, and the newly revealed Jiren. Sensing the unease, Goku takes a bold step, approaching the Omni Kings directly. To the shock of everyone present, he casually requests more preparation time, arguing that better prepared fighters will make for a much more entertaining tournament. The Omni Kings hesitate for a moment but are eventually convinced, granting the competing universes a full year to prepare. While most gods are relieved and impressed by Goku's nerve, Velmoth remains slightly disappointed. With his Pride Troopers already prepared, a shorter time frame would have given his universe a clear advantage. Nevertheless, he remains confident that his warriors, especially Jiren, will emerge victorious, regardless of how much the others train. With a new date set, the Grand Priest dismisses the assembled universes, announcing that further details, including the tournament's rules and format, will be communicated the following day. As these events unfold, in a distant and desolate corner of Universe 11, a lone mortal sits in deep meditation within a void-like space. Through the eyes of the god of destruction Velmoth, he has witnessed all that occurred in the Omni King's place. Now, having been contacted by the Hakaishin, the Pride Trooper Jiren the Grey is already preparing for the Tournament of Power. And with that, the exhibition tournament sub-arc for the Tournament of Power ends. Alright guys, that should be it for the whole exhibition match. Next video should be about the whole Tournament of Power team recruitment sub-arc, where we will explore how Universe 7 team will be formed and what kind of training they will go through the remaining year they have. We might also explore more superficially how the other universe teams are formed as well. Depending on how long the video ends up being, I might or might not split it into shorter videos. With that being said, thank you all for watching. As usual, I appreciate quite a lot. See ya next time, and I hope you're having a great day, and if not, it will be better. See ya, goodbye.